You guys, I'm often asked, of all the people you've had a chance to interview during your career, who's your favorite? Until I got to know Johnny Agar, I had to think about that question. Not anymore.
And lotion, slowly sit down.
Life isn't easy for Johnny Agar.
And with Johnny, everything is a struggle for him, everything.
Step one.
Cerebral palsy has ravaged his body.
Good.
Things an able-bodied person takes for granted, like sitting and standing, require a great deal of thought and extraordinary effort.
You can't really complain. You don't have, if I'm having a bad day and I look at him, my day's not as bad as I would think it would be, or it should be.
As difficult as it is, though, Johnny will be the first to tell you he leads a great life.
I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Rewind 18 years to when the son of Jeff and Becky Agar was born 29 weeks into his mother's first pregnancy. Doctors discovered bleeding on his brain and knew something was horribly wrong. It turned the Agars' world upside down, yet strengthened their faith.
A lot of people have asked us too, how do you stay so positive and how do you stay so strong? And I always say it's our faith. I know that for everything that happens, God has a purpose to everything.
So the Agars trusted and prayed that someday that plan would be revealed, never once imagining, despite all of her son's struggles, Becky would utter these words.
I'm so grateful that he has cerebral palsy. I know that may sound funny. We have learned so much from him, and it's such a blessing that I would never, ever trade.
To understand the power of her sentiment, you have to know Johnny. He's a bright, articulate,
This is the head guy right here.
happy young man. And does he ever have a passion for sports?
He is a sports fanatic. I'll ask him guys that I've never even heard of. I'll say, who's this guy? He'll start naming off stats.
As a matter of fact, Johnny's dream job is to be a sportscaster.
I gotta work on my college stuff first and get that all sorted out, and then we'll see. And then I might be coming for you. So.
His love for sports was fostered by his father. Jeff Agar was a Tiger prospect in the 80s, a pitcher with a big-time fastball. But Johnny's cerebral palsy robbed them of a chance to play baseball or any other sport together, until they learned of My Team Triumph and watched the father-son team of Dick and Rick Hoyt compete in endurance races. Suddenly, new doors were open, new adventures dreamed up, and Team Agar was formed. How special is it to have your dad push you?
It's really special because you don't really think of a disabled kid, being able to run marathons and do stuff like that.
They started with some 5Ks and gradually up the distance. Now Team Agar is doing triathlons, and what a sight that is to see Jeff pull Johnny in a special boat in the swim, power him through the course on the bike, and push him to the finish line on the run. Do you ever tell him, come on, Dad, faster?
I'm starting to get my whip out, but I understand that it's really difficult too, so just knowing that he's trying so hard to get me through that race, and that I try to cheer him on as hard as I can, but sometimes it can be harder for him than I think it can.
For Jeff, the payoff is the joy his son gets on race day.
He loves it because he puts his arms up and screams and yells, and he really plays off the crowd. He's not shy by any means, and it is just a thrill that I think back. I never experienced a thrill like that as much.
Cerebral palsy may have ravaged his body, but there's one group of muscles that never fail Johnny. The ones on his face, etched in a permanent smile when he runs with his father.
I'm a competitive person. So the ability to be in the competitive atmosphere that running is, it's really quite cool.
Now, Johnny and his father will be wearing the red shirts of the My Team Triumph. They'll be easy to spot on the course. Make sure you give the Angels that are pushing those race chairs an extra loud cheer if you're out there on Saturday. Now, you did hear Johnny lay down a gauntlet during that story. Once he finishes the college stuff, he's coming for me. Why wait, Johnny? We brought him into studio for his very first sportscast.
Wow, look at that. I said that and I suddenly appeared on camera.
Living the dream, bud.
Oh, yeah.
Well, go ahead. Whitecaps game today.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at some Whitecaps highlights. Shall we? Beautiful day at Fifth Third Ballpark.
Seventh inning.
Seventh inning, Eugenio Suarez blew the single to
right. You know, you're the first person to get Eugenio Suarez right on the first try.
It's a good thing I've been practicing my Spanish. Holy cow.
Well, the Whitecaps end up losing this game 4-3. All right, next story, Johnny. How about what's going on with the Tigers tonight?
Well, you might not have heard it, but Brandon Inge is coming back.
Yes, he is.
And that will be a huge thing to see how Brandon Inge performs with his new team and his new uniform.
And we've got some video of Brandon, what he's already done with that team. How about the other night? Were you jumping when you saw you hit this grand slam?
I would have liked if he would have done that with the other team, but yeah. So that was a big thrill for me, and I'm sure for many Detroit fans to see him do so well.
And so tonight they play against the Tigers. So Inge sees his former team for the first time.
Yeah, it must be a big thrill for him to be able to step on that stage and be able to show the Detroit fans certainly what he's made of.
Well, let's hear what he has to say.
No, not really. I'm not going to change anything because I've seen it a lot in the past. The guys that leave playing against you, it feels like they're trying to do a little bit too much. I'm going to have fun. You know, it's going to be kind of crazy now. I've got to know a lot of the guys on this team now, know a lot of the guys on the other team, so I'm going to be surrounded by a whole bunch of players that pretty close to. So it'll be fun to play.
I don't know about you, Johnny, but I'm going to be watching that game tonight.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a thrill for him to be able to show what the Detroit Tigers what they missed out on.
All right, now the one thing I want to say, take your time with the college stuff, go on like the 8-9 year plan. I've got kids going to college soon. I need my job for a while, but I know you're going to take it someday.
Okay, thanks, Jack. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us, and best of luck in the race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go easy on your dad.
I was just going to say, the cracking of the whip. You better hold on that. Yeah.
Johnny, great having you out here.
Thank you.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy yourself. And that is our program. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Make sure and stay with us. 24-hour News 8 to 6 is coming up next.